Prisoners of the Ghostland is about a man's journey across the treacherous frontier city of Samurai Town. Nicolas Cage is a ruthless bank robber who gets sprung from jail by a wealthy warlord played by Bill Moseley, whose adopted granddaughter has gone missing. He offers the prisoner freedom in exchange to bring her back.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and yes, today we are going to watch the Prisoners of the Ghostland. I haven't heard too much about it. I know that Nicolas Cage was going to be in it. Other than that, that's all I've heard. Haven't heard any buzz about it. It was actually Doug, who is behind me. He actually was the one who wanted to see it and everything. What did you hear about it?
I just heard that there are some very Nicolas Cage moments and some very good emoting.
Well, we just watched Willy's Wonderland one, probably an hour ago actually.
Yeah.
So we just watched Willy's Wonderland, and that was a fun movie. So we'll see how this one is. It's actually by a Japanese director, so it might be stylistically different from the other ones. But excited. He wanted to see it, so if it sucks, I'm blaming him. Okay. So, but it's Nicolas Cage, so who knows?
A land of no escape. We are not the ones who hold her captive.
So that was the Prisoners of the Ghostland. What did you think?
I think aesthetically it is beautiful. It is amazing set pieces, great color. Costumes are, and it's unique enough with various different mixed genres. It looks so fucking cool.
It's like a Japanese movie, a samurai movie. You know, like the Seventh Son, I think it's, or the Seven Samurai kind of movie. And then it's also like a western, like almost like a
Seven.
Yeah, like the Magnificent Seven, like a spaghetti western of sorts and everything. And like he said, the colors are striking. The atmosphere and the tension of the movie is there. And you add Nicolas Cage in the mix. It's an interesting movie
With a little Mad Max mixed in.
Yeah, with a little Mad Max mixed in. I like the costume design for some of the characters of the movie, like the Rat Man. I think that's what the character name, Rat Man. It was kind of cool in the distorted.
Yeah, it was weird how they did that. Like, certain people had a distorted, like their voice had a little digital tinge to it, but it's not like they had like contraptions like on their neck or anything. It was just like normal looking dudes. I mean, in context of the movie,
right? Not
androids or anything, and just digitally distorted voices. They gave a creepy vibe.
Yeah. And the design of the costume, it's like made from scrap metal and like wires and stuff like that. And it's kind of like their mechanics, and then you
steampunk almost.
Yeah, almost. There's a I forgot the name of the film director, but he directed a movie that's like kind of famous for Cyberpunk, not the video game, but Cyberpunk was made was kind of as a Japanese director, and I forgot the name of it, but I'll put it up here if I figure it out. He made this movie. It's kind of like Cyberpunk. So these people would this was stop motion, and these wires and stuff like that would go into people's arms and stuff like that, and it would turn them into robots, and it was an interesting idea. It's in black and white, and it was made in the 80s, which is weird because it's black and white 80s movie.
Very cool.
But
Japan went to that neo-noir stage.
And it was, like I said, a Japanese film, and so is this movie was made by a Japanese director whose most of his movies were made for Japanese audiences. I believe this was made more towards American audiences. It has several American actors and faces, people like Nicolas Cage, Bill Moseley, and Bill Moseley kind of plays this kind of southern governor, kind of sheriff type, if you will.
Boss Hog,
Yes.
but skinny and scary.
Yes. And he was somewhat scary and threatening, but I just think I just think the whole Southern accent was kind of off. So I'm from the South. I don't sound Southern.
Oh, English.
I don't sound Southern, but I could tell when there's a genuine Southern accent and when there's not a genuine Southern accent. And his accent was like, it was reminiscent of like Foghorn Leghorn, in my opinion, at times. And well, I just think that was just what the director had.
It's the accent he uses for Chop Top in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, where it's like a guy from Connecticut who's been living in Texas for a long time, and is picking up some of it, but not quite all of it.
Right. But I think it's bad when Dan, if any of y'all are familiar with Knives Out, which was one of the first reviews that I did for my horror movie channel, was Knives Out. It's actually the first review I did of a movie. But if any of y'all are familiar with Knives Out, Daniel Craig, James Bond, British guy, kind of suave, does a better Southern accent than Bill Moseley, who could pull it off. It's just weird.
Right.
It's weird, but it's again that one's kind of like Foghorn Leghorn-ish, really.
Bill Moseley does his rants. He's so well known and so famous for his long, rambling rants.
Right.
So when he's giving a few lines of dialogue, now, let me tell you, son,
Right.
he pulls it off. But when he starts going in on his rants, which they seem like they're like at least 75% improvised, that he will drop out of the accent to do his rants, and then he just turns into Otis from
Devil's Rejects, Free from Hell,
and House of a Thousand Corpses.
Yeah. And it's a character that you're supposed to kind of fear. You're not supposed to like, but
He is charismatic as fuck.
he is. He is very charismatic. And the main title character, the main draw for the movie, Nicolas Cage. What do you think about his character?
His Nicolas Cage is very, very Nicolas Cage. He, at times, it's like he winks at the camera, makes a bizarre facial expression, because it's like, I know you're watching this to see me be Nicolas Cage.
And that's honestly what I was hoping for. I was like, what is this? I want to see, because Nicolas Cage, I want to see.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to see Nicolas Cage being Nicolas Cage in a samurai western Mad Max movie set in the near post-apocalyptic future with one testicle,
You have to watch the movie to figure that one out.
then absolutely. It's everything you would want. And Sophia Boutella, I could be saying her name wrong, Algerian actress, you probably know her from The Mummy, or Kingsman. She is beautiful as always. She moves so well. She's quiet for a lot of it. And when she does speak, she's out of place. She doesn't have the accent. It's like, why is there a French woman in feudal Japan?
Yeah, it is a bit odd. I would have chose somebody like, I'm trying to think, I don't really know very many new Japanese actresses. And I don't know if she's Japanese.
No, she's
Don't fucking cancel the YouTube.
Algerian. But yeah.
No, I was thinking Lucy Liu.
Oh,
But she's a little older.
no, she's Hawaiian.
Hawaiian?
Hawaiian.
She plays Japanese in Kill Bill.
Right. She might. I think she's got some Chinese heritage, but I'm pretty sure she's Hawaiian. I could be wrong.
But I mean, I can't think of any Japanese characters, Japanese actresses that are, that are younger-ish. but I think it does make sense in the story why she stands out among everybody else. In the sense of the story, you have to watch the story. You have to watch the movie to understand why she's with Bill Moseley's character and everything, and it's explained. But if you can find, if they did make a mistake by having a white actress play the younger version, or a semi-white actress to play a younger version of her, but maybe she gets darker.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah, it's a weird, but I think they went with what they had.
Right.
I would say the biggest flaws with the movie are it looks awesome, and it feels as though sometimes they should have to choose between advancing the plot with something that makes sense, or advancing the plot with something that looks fucking cool. And every time, the director, Sion Sono, every time he went with the choice of, this is going to look awesome. And he was right, it does look awesome.
And like I said, the movie it does take time. It does have times where it's it's not a whole lot of action. It's not, to me. There is action parts. There's really good sword fighting, really good scenes where people are getting in fist fights and stuff like that. There is cool action scenes, but I think the movie has enough times where it gives you time to breathe in a sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it is very nicely directed. It has that kind of handheld feel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I mean, I don't know. I'm not a director, but as somebody who wants to watch a movie, like, I don't want to watch a movie where 40% of the time the camera's doing this. So, it's gonna be fun to edit later. And it's just not fun to look at. But I know it's the feel they're going for. It's in the moment.
Right.
Stuff like war movies and stuff like that helps being in the moment, and other things like that. But I think for ones like this, I think this needed more steady shots, and it needed to be kind of just like a smoother style. You know what I mean?
I definitely think it has these beautiful panoramic steady shots to show off how beautiful the set is. The set is just like every set they have looks like it could be a painting. I think he chose to use it sparingly. He used it when he wanted to be immersive, not when he wanted it to look cool. When he wanted things to look cool, he did use the steady shots. Because, man, a beautiful set like that, not showing it off with shots on a rail as they're towards the end. And it's like, hey, look, there's a nudie bar. Hey, look, and you can, I'm spotting, make this country great again signs in the background. Like, attention to detail and certain company logos. Like, there's a make-believe company, and they've got advertisements all over Samurai Town. It's great sense.
And yeah, the director, definitely an experienced director. The money, I don't know what the exact budget was for this movie, but it's on the screen. It doesn't feel cheap, and in my opinion, it doesn't feel cheap in any sense. It feels like they took the time and the effort to make a good picture, and it was an immersive movie. There was like, and I see how if you're just a casual movie viewer, I could see how you could get bored of it because it is slow in some parts. If you just come in to see Nicolas Cage with a samurai sword, then there is Nicolas Cage with a samurai sword, but if that's what you came to see, it's unfortunately not what you're going to get. However, if you're into the story, in the setting, and the mood of the movie, and it it's immersive enough. I think will keep your interest for the entire thing. It's not one of those movies that's like you watch and you're looking at your phone for a good chunk of it. You know what I mean? And yeah, I think the director did a good job. We'll have to check out some more of his movies. And was it Sion So?
Yes,
Sion
Sion Sono. He has done 58 movies going back to the early 90s, and he's worked steadily. Looks like a lot of horror genre. There's a couple that are standouts that people say to watch. Why Don't You Play in Hell? And it looks... if his attention detail is that good. But he does have some weird documentaries. And he makes a weird movie with Avril Lavigne in it.
Huh.
Playing herself. Yeah. And there's a weird comedy called Anti-Porno, which I guess it's about a film studio trying to revive Japan's oldest film studio trying to revive their business by making highbrow, artistic, softcore porn. Looks funny.
That is kind of fun. But yeah, definitely a director will have to see more of his stuff and hopefully watch for a movie night video. But yeah, I definitely. What would you rate the movie if you were being like Rotten Tomatoes? Would you fuck this movie over, or would you give it a positive? Didn't have enough black people in it, so we're gonna give this a -2.
I would say if you, with the warning of it's a Nicolas Cage Japanese samurai western Mad Max film that looks amazing. 8 out of 10. As far as grabbing someone off the street, 5 out of 10. But if you like Nicolas Cage, his later movies, yeah, go see it. It's fantastic.
I would have to agree. It's not for the casual film viewer if you're just there to watch a movie and, it's like, oh, action, 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 sex scene, and then you're done, and you don't take anything away from it. For people who love film, people who really get immersed in the story and the styles and everything, this is for you. And I would give it an 8 out of 10 as well. And I guess, warning, there are, it's not overwhelmingly put out there in the film, but there are hints of sexual abuse and stuff like that. So if you have any problems with that, that was something to go in knowing, then just going in blind and be like, oh.
Trigger warning, it hinted sexual abuse. Yeah. And Japanese blood, like the old samurai movies, fountains of blood.
It's pretty cool. This is the, I've watched Kill Bill and Kill Bill Volume 2, but this is actually the first movie that I've seen, that Japanese movie that has had that. That's other than, stuff like, with something that's just ultra gory, you know what I mean? But this is like, seeing the fountains of blood, and people can kind of, it's not extremely graphic. The blood is kind of graphic, but it's not extremely graphic. It's like people getting their...
It's over the top enough to make it obviously fake. It's not hyper realistic. It's hyper stylized.
So anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this movie night. Fun movie, like I said, go check it out. It's available on DVD and Blu-ray, and I don't know if it's available on any streaming services, but definitely would recommend it. Follow Doc here. I'll link his channel in the description below. Watch his videos. We just did a video together about Dolly Parton and Barbara Walters, so go check that out. And he gets naked in a live stream, so you definitely don't want to miss that.
Yes. Although it's probably taken down by now.
Probably.
Hopefully.
But anyway, guys, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. That was fun.